that is the discs. So there are different discs in Theravada, different colors you can choose. So you have a blue disc and a yellow disc. The discs normally are about 1 foot wide diameter. Traditionally, it's about 33 centimeters, or can be a little less. So you make a disc that can be, you can paint a disc on a paper, or you can paint a disc on a wall, or you can make a disc out of clay or whatever. And then you put the disc at a certain distance, not too far, and then with your eye open, you try to memorize the disc in your mind. So the traditional way is to repeat the color in your mind. So you look at the disc, and then close your eyes, and then try to see the disc in your mind, and then you open the eyes again and try to memorize, and then you close your eyes. So it may take a long time or a short time, depending on your training, until you are able to visualize the disc in your mind. So when you are able to see the disc in your mind, it means that you don't need the physical disc anymore. You have a concept, actually. Actually, it is not very different from memorizing a verse or something. It's a different sense. So when we memorize a verse, it's the ear, and the mind. When we try to memorize the disc, is the eye and the mind. What happens is that we are not used to memorize with the eye. We are used to memorize with the ear and the mind. But you can train yourself and memorize the disc, and then, because I think many of you are able maybe to close your eyes and see a person that you know, and your parents, or easily. So if you are able to do that, you may be able to do this. And this another thing is that the discs are simple. In Theravada Buddhism, these discs don't have many things. For example, in Tibetan you have these mandalas, but we don't need complexity here, because what we want is concentration. So if we start adding 3 colors or 4 colors to the disc and some shape, it's more work that you have to do. So that's why this disc is just a plain color. So, and you have to memorize. So until you can see the disc in your mind, you have to open your eyes and close your eyes and go on and go on and on. And the time will come when you can see the disc. And then, when you can see the disc, you will continue contemplating on the mental image until the disc becomes more clear and your mind becomes more unified on this disc. And when your mind becomes more unified on this disc, a time will come when it is said that the mental impediments, hindrances, will temporarily disappear. And when that happens, your mind will become more concentrated, and that is what is called access concentration, when the mental impediments, the hindrances subside. And then, after access concentration, you keep contemplating on this, and the time will come when you will reach what is called the absorption, that is jhanas. And this actually is consciousness that doesn't belong to this plane of existence. So, until we reach the absorptions of the jhanas, all the consciousness that we are experiencing belong to the sense sphere plane. So, we belong to the sense sphere plane, so these are familiar consciousness. But at the moment that you reach this absorption, you are experiencing a consciousness that is not common in this plane. So, and you reach, in Pali it's called jhana cheta. And when you reach that, you have reached the unification of mind. But I cannot go into much detail, but you can even refine these absorptions. When you reach the first one, you can reach the second and so on. So that means more refined concentration. So you can use a blue disc, you can use a yellow disc. However, I would not recommend that you do this at home or alone. This kind of practice, I would recommend you to go to a meditation center and to be under supervision of a person who has experience in this practice. So actually, I don't recommend this to do alone. The only type of tranquility meditation that I recommend to do alone is the divine abidance. So you can do that without any problem, I think. But the problem with this practice is that we are trying to develop one mental faculty, that is concentration. And the faculties may become unbalanced, and you may experience some things that you are not familiar. So that's why I'm explaining this, but I'm not recommending you to practice. As I'm explaining, so what is this tranquility meditation?